Today is December 12th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Chapter 10. To employers, we'll be reading page 146. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition 8. We'll read 170, and we'll read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope you all are doing well this morning, my friends. Once again, we've been given a brand new set of 24 hours. Clean slate and another opportunity to do the next right thing. That is always an exciting thing. So let's get to the good stuff. Out of the Big Book, we're on Chapter 10, To Employers. We're going to start on 146. As a class, alcoholics are energetic people. They work hard and they play hard. Your man should be on his mettle to make good. Being somewhat weakened and faced with physical and mental readjustment to a life which knows no alcohol, he may overdo. You may have to curb his desire to work 16 hours a day. You may need to encourage him to play once in a while. He may wish to do a lot for other alcoholics, and something of the sort may come up during business hours. A reasonable amount of latitude will be helpful. This work is necessary to maintain his sobriety. After your man has gone along without drinking for a few months, you may be able to make use of his services with other employees who are giving you the alcoholic runaround, provided, of course, that they are willing to have a third party in the picture. An alcoholic who is recovered, but holds a relatively unimportant job, can talk to a man with a better position. Being on a radically different basis of life, he'll never take advantage of the situation. Your man may be trusted. Long experience with alcoholic excuses naturally arouses suspicion. When his wife next calls saying that he's sick, you might jump to the conclusion that he's drunk. If he is, and he's still trying to recover, he'll tell you about it even if it means the loss of his job. For he knows that he must be honest if he would live at all. He will appreciate knowing that you are not bothering your head about him, and that you are not suspicious, nor are you trying to run his life so that he will be shielded from temptation to drink. If he is conscientiously following the program of recovery, he can go anywhere your business may call him. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition 8. Alcoholics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. So yesterday we listed off some people that it was debated whether or not these were professional AAs or not. Like a state alcohol commission wanted a paid researcher, Drunk Farm wanted a manager who could really handle inebriates, the city wanted an experienced social worker who understood what alcohol can do. So are these paid professional AAs? So we're going to answer that question on page 170. We think the answer is no. Members who select such full-time careers do not professionalize AA's 12th step. The road to this conclusion was long and rocky. At first, we couldn't see the real issue involved. In former days, the moment an AA hired out to such enterprises, he was immediately tempted to use the name Alcoholics Anonymous for publicity or money-raising purposes. Drunk farms, educational ventures, state legislatures, and commissions advertised the fact that AA members served them. Unthinkingly, AAs so employed recklessly broke anonymity to thump the tub for their pet enterprise. For this reason, some very good causes and all connected with them suffered unjust criticism from AA groups. More often than not, these onslaughts were spearheaded by the cry, "Professionalism! That guy's making money out of AA!" Yet, not a single one of them had been hired to do AA's 12-step work. The violation in these instances was not professionalism at all. It was breaking anonymity. AA's sole purpose was being compromised, and the name of Alcoholics Anonymous was being misused. "24 hours a day, December 12th. AA Thought for the Day. The clergy speak of the spiritual fellowship of the church. This is much closer to the AA way than mere group therapy. Such a fellowship is based on a common belief in God and a common effort to live a spiritual life. We try to do this in AA. We also try to get down to the real problems in each other's lives. We try to open up to each other. We have a real desire to be of service to each other. We try to go deep down into the personal lives of our members. Do I appreciate the deep personal fellowship of AA? Meditation for the day. Love and fear cannot dwell together. By their very natures, they cannot exist side by side. Fear is a very strong force, and therefore a weak and vacillating love can soon be routed by fear. But a strong love, a love that trusts in God, is sure eventually to conquer fear. The only sure way to dispel fear is to have the love of God more and more in your heart and soul. Prayer for the day. I pray that love will drive out fear in my life. I pray that my fear will flee before the power of the love of God. Daily Reflection, December 12th. A common solution. The tremendous fact for every one of us is that we discovered a common solution. We have a way out in which we can absolutely agree, and upon which we can join in brotherly and harmonious action. This is the great news this book carries to those who suffer from alcoholism. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 17. The most far-reaching 12-step work was the publication of our book, Alcoholics Anonymous. Few can equal that book for carrying the message. My idea is to get out of myself and simply do what I can. Even if I haven't been asked to sponsor and my phone rarely rings, I'm still able to do 12-step work. I get involved in brotherly and harmonious action. At meetings, I show up early to greet people and help set up, and to share my experience, strength, and hope. I also do what I can with service work. My higher power gives me exactly what he wants me to do at any given point in my recovery. And, if I let him, my willingness will bring 12-step work automatically. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading, and boy, do I love that 24 hours a day. This line here, but a strong love, a love that trusts in God, is surely eventually to conquer fear. The only sure way to dispel fear is to have the love of God more and more in your heart and soul. As I've said many times, for me, I heard the old acronym from a friend of mine. Fear is false evidence appearing real. A lot of the fears that I have never actually come true. A lot of them, I say probably the majority, right? But still, perception is reality. So if I'm thinking that, and I'm only dwelling on that, well, I live a fearful life. However, if I can look for the good in life, and I can dwell on that instead, to make that right turn instead of that left turn, that fear goes away. When I start going through gratitude of the things that I have or the things that I don't have, that fear melts away. And I know I've told the story many times, but a friend of mine one time, he knew I was really wrestling with self-hatred and fear and anger at myself, really mainly toward myself for hurting other people. And he said, "Rob, you're a father, right?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he asked me, "How old are your kids?" And at the time, my son was about 4 or 5. My daughter was maybe 1 or 2. He said, "Imagine your son sitting on the edge of his bed crying. And you walk in as his father. And you ask him, 'Why are you crying?' And your son looks you in the eye with teary eyes and says, 'I keep making mistakes and I hate myself.' How would that make you feel?" And I thought to myself, I'd be devastated. That's my son. There's nothing my boy or my girl could do to make me abandon them or love them any less. And then my friend kind of smiled at me, and I knew where he was going. And he said, how much more does your higher power love you? Do you get it now, Rob? And just that image has always stood out to me. So when I get in that fearful mode or that self-hatred mode or whatever it might be, I have to remember that. That mental image is in my mind of my little boy or my little girl crying on the edge of their bed, because we all make mistakes, we all mess up. It's what we do with it, I think, that matters. What we can control, right? To try to ensure that it doesn't happen again. But guess what? If it does, we try to come up with another solution. Get right back on the horse, because self-hatred is just a waste of time. It's very detrimental to me. Life's too short. But anyway, that's enough of my preaching for one day. I'm sorry, guys. Hope you all have a great one. And if we are given another set of 24 hours, my friends, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.